Welcome to session 3 of MEDT 3401. I'm going to talk you through the checklist. I have it right here in front of me, your camera eyeballs right there, so hopefully I'll kind of make a little eye contact as I go through this. As always, go check out the course plan for a big picture view of what we're doing in the course. Remember that there's 7 sessions in the class, 7 2-week sessions, and so I organize that course plan with the bare bones of what you want to do to get credit in the class. There's a lot of information in an online class. It's easy to get bogged down. It's easy to get distracted. But the course plan is a good way of sort of centering yourself and saying, okay, what's the bottom line through all of this? The content modules, on the other hand, which is hopefully where you're at right now as you're watching this video, give you some of the richness, some of what I like to call the goo, the things that lead up to those bottom line activities that you're doing. So the two go together. The course plan is good for just kind of helping center and maybe balance you a little bit. Check out the machine that goes ping video if you want. It's a little bit humorous. If the video doesn't play, it's possibly because it's flash based and that causes some problems sometimes. Don't struggle too hard to watch it. It's just a Monty Python video. I love Monty Python, but you may find it offensive. I put a note in the checklist about if you have any concerns about violent humor or birth humor, don't even bother watching it. But it's kind of funny if you kind of like Monty Python types of things. And it draws a good parallel to education and technology as well, I think. So the big project in this session is on how to podcast. This process, the technical process of podcasting, has become a lot easier in recent years, particularly because I would estimate that 90% of you or more have what we call smartphones, such as iPhones or an Android type of phone. And it makes it super easy to do the technical piece of this assignment. I've always thought that the non-technical piece was really the harder part. It's the part where you go learn about something. In this case, so part 1 of the podcasting is actually where you go research the concept of bring your own technology. I want you to learn all about it. I want you to go find the answers to 7 questions. So you do a little bit of research, you collect your answers on a document, and then that's part 1. That's the hard part, really. Part 2 is how you make your podcast. I would honestly recommend that you just do it with your mobile device. If you have an iPhone, an iPad, even some other kind of, like here I have an Android, reading device, any kind of touch device that uses apps, I would recommend maybe doing that and keeping it simple. But if you want to see more creative uses of podcasting where you can add in music and you can edit and have it on your computer, I use the more complex version, podcasting on a computer using Audacity. It's more complicated. It'll take you longer to do. It'll take you longer to learn. I use that constantly. I highly recommend that tool. It's free to use. You can have it on computers in the school setting. Most classrooms still come equipped with 4 computers on the side. It could be very useful to you as a teacher and to your students. So I still highly recommend it. I have tutorials for it. I have everything you need to know how to do that. So you need to pick your path, though. If you have a mobile device, maybe for the sake of saving time and just kind of getting the point here that you can podcast and that it is within your grasp, just do that option. That's really what I recommend, is that easier path. But for those of you that want to push a little further and try something new and really encounter an amazing program that Audacity is, or if you want to use GarageBand on your Mac computer, try doing it with the computer. So you pick your path. Let me know if you have any questions about that. I do have a few resources related to podcasting and education. Those are for your enrichment, so that you can see, okay, how do we connect this to the classroom or to the speech-language pathology practice in schools. I hope that what you see there can give you some ideas. And you can always Google it, podcasting and speech-language pathology. I think you're going to find some things. For example, that's just an example of a Google search. So try to push yourself to find the connection beyond what I've presented there. For reading this session, big picture of educational technology, it just kind of gives you a little bit of history, talks to you a little bit about what we know about whether or not technology and education improves student learning, which the results are mixed on that. And that partly has to do with educational research in general, which it's always hard to figure out what helps student learning. It's hard to have a clear understanding of what it is that really helps student learning. There's a lot of reasons for that. So there's a lot of mixed educational research generally. The educational technology research is also sort of mixed and unclear. But there are reasons still to use technology in the classroom. So that chapter will give you a good foundation on that. And then you want to go and post the answers. I think I've posed maybe 3 or 4 questions that you would have put on your wiki page or wiki readings page in the previous session through the Wiki Foundation assignment. Go back to that readings page, jot down your answers to the questions that are posed related to this chapter from this session's reading. And remember, you turn in the readings page at the end of session 4, so you still don't need to worry about turning it in yet. All right, so social media contribution, I want you to go check out the BYOT chat, Twitter chat assignment. Just go click on the instructions, and there's a Twitter chat that happens every Thursday night, and you can tune in live, or you can actually tune in not when it's happening, and go check out their Twitter feed and just see the types of things that they're sharing. So I want you to explore that. Take a little time to do that, and all you have to do is go to your wiki page. Always follow the instructions. This video is not meant to replace anything that I have in the module. It's maybe meant to enhance, but the instructions will tell you in detail. But you want to go just confirm on your social media wiki page that you went and checked this out. All right, a couple groups of standards that I want you guys to just quickly glance at, just to be familiar and be aware of, are the intern keys, which are out of the College of Education, and the EdTPA standards. And then just go quickly take that quiz saying that you're aware of where to find these more information about these standards. Finally, the voices from this field during this module is appropriately related to BYOT. I actually interviewed an administrator in a suburban Atlanta school district on the south side, I'll give you that hint, and put together a presentation where you get to hear him talk about BYOT in his district. And you might actually start with that. I know that sometimes you guys might ignore the voices from the field stuff because it's enrichment, but it might kind of warm you up to the whole BYOT thing. You can even possibly use that, use that to inform what you learn. I mean, it's a real guy that works in a real school district, a huge one outside of Atlanta, and that would help inform the research that you're doing inside of the podcast earlier in the module. All right, so that's session 3. Let me know how I can help. I'm here to help you. I see a few little minor errors in this checklist just in terms of titling and maybe not full enough information. If you see errors in modules, let me know. I make mistakes, so if there's something confusing, not working, please let me know. All right, thanks you guys.